All right. Good evening, everyone. It is currently 8 o'clock, and we are going to do some flying in the Cessna 172 today. It's been a little while since I've flown, and today, we started our first day of Commercial 2 here at Liberty University. And I've been keeping up to date during the summer with my flying practice. However, it's good to get back into the airplane and do some official procedures and stuff. Wednesday we should be having a traffic pattern practice, so we'll just go out and do that today. We're going to go up and we're going to do a short field and soft field takeoff and landing, and then practice a power off 180. And of course, this is in the simulator, so I am not expecting perfection. However, we're going to strive for it today. Without further in depth, as we already know how to do a walk around of a Cessna 172. First things first, remove the static port, and we'll go ahead and inspect that for any damages and blockages. So far, nothing here. We'll check our air filter, or excuse me, not our air filter, our air intake for our cabin. And I usually like to come over here, check the strut, make sure it looks good. We'll take off the pitot tube cover, check our pitot tube, make sure there's no blockages, and same with the train hole. Over here, we'll wait for that for now. We'll come over here, check our stall warning horn, make sure it's not obstructed as well. Then we'll make our way over to, let me see here something real quick. We should be picking up audio, right? Yes. And we'll make our way over to the leading edge and continue down to our lights. And usually at this point we'd have the lights on and we'd already have checked it, or someone else usually do that. Okay, cool. And we'll check our trailing edge. Our static wicks are nicely on there. We'll check the movement of our ailerons here, and moving nicely. As you can see, the inside of the cockpit's also moving in the right direction. Excellent. And then over here we'll check our landing gear. Obviously I can't see because of the fairings, and we'll go ahead and move the chocks. And we'll have our flaps down as well. We can check our piano hinges, and then our push-pull rod, and check the tracks on the flaps, make sure everything's looking good, nothing will obstruct the movement of the flaps. We'll check our cargo compartment, make sure everything's nicely secured back here, and from there we'll go ahead and close it up and lock it. We'll check our empennage and also check our antennas. So that here, I believe that one is the transponder, and then this one is I think ILS or localizer antenna. Anyways, here's our VHF 1 and 2 and our GPS antenna and our outside air temperature ELT antenna. And over here we'll check our data manufacturer plate, make sure it looks good. Oh, that doesn't have the right number, that's fine. We'll check our elevators, make sure everything's looking good with them. And we got our static wicks. Come down here, we'll check our rudder cables, make sure they look, oh, what just happened there? Make sure they look nice and secure, nothing, the wires aren't frayed or anything. We'll also check here for our tie down ring. We'll also double check to see if there's any evidence of a tail strike. We'll check our VOR antennas, and our rudder is looking pretty good. We should be able to move it. Can I move it? I'm not too sure. No, it doesn't let me. We'll also go here and check our elevator trim tab. Make sure threading on that screw is looking good and that there's a pin inserted as well. Come over here in Virginia, we do have a registration that we have to check, so we'll double check that it is current. Check the rest of the airframe here is looking pretty good. Top of the wings are looking good too. And we'll check over here, kind of do the reverse around, check the push-pull rod and all our hinges and stuff, static wicks, check our lights, and our leading edge is looking good. Air intakes, struts looking good, and our tire on this side is looking good. Cool. I believe you can actually check the oil here. You can. Oil is looking good, above 6, which is the minimum. Where is the click spot for this? I don't know. There. Okay. I guess if you walk away, it'll go away. We'll check down here, check our nose gear. The shimmy damper and our strut is looking good, and as well as our exhaust. We won't be using any heating today, so we'll have to worry about heating exhaust fumes or anything like that. Go ahead and remove the cowling plug. Check our flywheel and our alternator belt. Everything is looking pretty nicely and secure there. And our air intake filter is looking pretty brand new. Check our prop. Prop is looking good, no cracks or dents or anything like that. And our spinner is looking pretty pristine. Very good. Check this side of the engine, and I like to check the heat sinks and everything, make sure nothing looks cracked or damaged. And that is about it. Let's climb into the airplane. Oh boy, that is really drastic. Alright. We'll go ahead and I'm going to put this on my lap. Alright, before start checklist, IOC prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for this opportunity that I get to practice my flying in the simulator. Even though it is a simulator, Lord, I ask that you help me to retain knowledge and to perfect my training as best as I can. Put this lesson into your hands. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Passenger briefing will go through safe, so make sure your seats and seat belts are secured. Air environmental controls are on this side, and if we need to pull out, we can go ahead and pull this out to get more air. We'll go ahead and leave that out. Cabin heat is there in case we need to pull out for some heating. You can also move the vents around, and last resort we can open the window. However, it gets really loud if we do that, so but it is an option available. Fire extinguishers in the middle in the green, so in the case of a fire, I'll take controls of the airplane, and we'll point the fire extinguishers to the flames. From there, in case of an emergency, we'll evacuate the airplane towards the rear, never towards the front of the propeller. And to operate the seatbelts, you just press the red button, and it should come undone just like a regular car seatbelt. The doors come undone by pulling up on this latch and then pushing out. And then we do have an emergency kit in the back, so in the case of an emergency, one of us can reach over if you'd like to reach over. Since that's solo, I'll reach over and grab it. Let's see here. We'll keep talking to a minimum, especially during this flight. We're going to be pretty much in the traffic pattern, so that will be any operations below 1,000 feet, and during taxi, takeoff, and landing, we will keep a sterile cockpit. No questions on my side, so we'll continue moving on. Wheel chocks are removed, brakes tested. Do we have parking brake on? We do. And seats and seat belts are secure. Fuel selector on to both. Elevator trim set to take off. Make sure it can come to. Okay, make sure that looks good. Cabin heat and vents are looking good. Circuit breakers are all in. Electrical equipment is good, and nav light can come on. Avionics bus 1 and switch 1 and 2 are off. Standby battery test and arm. The weather right now is reporting. I have to double check. But it looks like it was saying marginally far a little bit earlier. All right, let's focus. Essential bus above 24. Standby battery is discharging. Main bus no more than 1.5. Standby annunciator is on. Standby battery test is complete. Fuel gallons remaining. We'll go ahead and come over here. We do have full tanks, so we'll go ahead and do reset fuel, and they did 53. And now we have full fuel on that counter there. Prop area is clear. A master can come on. Master on. Oh, you had to yell that. And then avionics 1 and 2 can come on. And just to remember our frequencies, so this is going to be on 119.8. Was it 919.85? This is 121.9. Then over here we'll go to 19.65. Was it 65? 127.65. What the heck? 127.65. And then this will be 135.0. Cool. Enter that. And we'll go ahead and move on to our C172 database is good. We'll check our ATIS, which is what we'll listen to. I don't think it'll actually be working. And then we'll double check our ATIS right now. Weather is 050 at 7, so runway 4 is going to be the one to use today.
Airport information India 0000 Zulu. Wind 059 at 7. Visibility 10. Sky condition 2,000 feet scattered, 5,000 feet scattered. Temperature 24. Dew point 20. Altimeter 3011. ILS runway 4 in use. Landing and departing runway 4.
Cool.
VFR.
So we'll use runway 4. Let's go ahead and change this and put this to 130 or 30.11. And we're within 75 feet of the field elevation. Good. Alright, so ATIS has been checked. G1000 database good. Avionics switches can come off. Alright, departure briefing. So we're at the south ramp. We'll go ahead and expect to use runway 4. We can taxi via Delta Bravo, or we might even get Echo Bravo. We have to double check what the ground controller gives us, so we'll verify that. We're gonna taxi, no hotspots along that route. We'll go down and do our run up, and then for our performance maneuvers or takeoff, so we'll go ahead and do a short field takeoff first. Pretty much we will apply the brakes once we get onto the runway. We'll apply brakes and set power, verify our pressures and temperatures are good and our power setting is set, and we'll release brakes. And then on our liftoff speed, we're about 2,300, so liftoff speed probably around like 50 knots, around there. We'll go ahead and slightly pull back, get it off the ground, and then we'll pitch up, climb up at 56, clear our obstacles at 50 feet, and then we'll go ahead and reduce our pitch and climb up to our 74 and clean up our flaps. So for any engine failure prior to our rotation speed at 55 or around 50, our liftoff speed, we'll pull power to idle, apply the brakes, and abort our takeoff. If we do happen to get an engine failure or anything of concern after that, we'll just land on the runway we have available for any operations below 1,000 feet AGL. Again, we will attempt to turn around. We'll just land on the runway we have available, land straight ahead. For anything above 1,000 feet AGL, which is 1,900 feet, we'll consider using the opposite end of the runway at that point. Other than that, no questions on the departure briefing. So before start checklist is complete. Starting engine checklist. We go beacon on, make sure idle cutoff and toe brakes are applied, ignition keys inserted. We'll go ahead and do a quick pump on. And we gotta give it a little bit of juice there. And we'll go ahead and prime the fuel. Is it actually working? No, I don't think it's simulated. Anyways, okay. That being said, clear left side, clear front, and to the right. Clear prop. Alright, below 800 and pressures are good. And everything's looking good, so we'll go ahead and bring it up to about 1200 RPM. And we'll give it a quick little lean. There's the truck. Go ahead and reduce power to about 900 RPM. Cool. Alright. Flaps are up. And engine instruments, pressure, temperature should be coming up here. Angle attack, power switch. We don't have an angle attack. Avionics plus 1 and 2 can come on. Autopilot electric trim will be tested. Actually, we won't do that. And avionics test. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and use our heading bug here to give us a heading about 37, which is about runway heading there. Cool. And we'll climb up to about 1900. And let's go ahead and do our U check. So we got our frequencies, nav frequencies up there, airspeeds at 0, outside air temperatures well above 5, and heading set to 037, and then blue over brown, wings are level, magnetic compass 336, reading within 10 degrees, and no cracks, leaks, bubble sources, deviations. Alright, transponder, we'll leave it on 1200 from now. Why is the transponder off? And then we'll squawk VFR the pattern, and then 30 should be 3011, and then 3011 on the altimeter. Then 75 feet, no, and then VSI is at 0, 1900 feet on the altimeter, on the altitude bug. And then we got ground. I got our ATIS. ATIS ground tower, and then approach, and then our B's and T's are looking good. We'll check our oil temperature. We're above 75 and 100, so we're good for our run up and our attack takeoff. Okay, U check is complete for our operations today. If you're doing IFR, you have to check a couple of other things like your does it simulate it here? Yeah, you check your auxiliary page, and you'll check your what is Cooper doing? He's distracting me right now. 1 second. Let's get going before it gets too dark outside. Alright, so after starting checklist complete, taxi checklist, make sure it has been leaned. Which I think I just ruined it by touching that. Parking brake can come off. And we'll check our... We're gonna have to... I feel like we're like sitting a little too high. That's a little better. And then we'll check our toe brakes. To the left, front to the right. Brakes work on my side wall. Alright, at this point, we'd go ahead and talk to ground, talk comp 2, and be like, Lynchburg ground, Liberty 107 in uniform, or be Liberty 107. And it'll be like, Liberty 107, Lynchburg ground, go ahead. Why isn't my brakes working? And then we'll go ahead and say, Liberty 107, we have information Alpha. We're at the south ramp, requesting 3 laps in the traffic pattern. We are ready to taxi. Alright, Liberty 107, taxi runway 4 via Delta Bravo. Taxi runway 4 via Delta Bravo, Liberty 107. Okay. Go ahead and put that on the map there, and we'll go ahead clear left, front and to the right, and we'll go we'll turn to the left here. I think. Maybe he thinks that we're all on like grass or something, because it's like... Alright, we'll maintain no more than about 5 knots in the ramp here. Looks like it's about to get dark here soon. Go ahead and give us some juice now. We'll go down to runway 4. We'll turn right here on Delta, or excuse me, Bravo. More than 15 knots taxiing, and this is a downhill, so we'll go ahead and reduce power, and we'll apply a little bit of brakes here. Since we know how to do a run-up, we'll go ahead and just verbalize it. And we'll skip that and go to the before takeoff checklist. Now to think of it, I've never done traffic pattern on runway 4 before. So this should be interesting. Going super fast right now. I realize my taxi light's not on. Alright, that's strike number 1. Mess up number 1. Taxi light was not turned on. Then you have to turn that on the moment you start taxiing, so that's my bad. Runway 4. Before takeoff checklist, seats and seatbelts are good. Elevator trim set to takeoff. Autopilot is off. Cabin power switch is good. Fuel quantity, we should be good. Takeoff briefing. Or takeoff runway 4. Do a short field takeoff. Apply the brakes. Apply power. And then we'll take off. Rotate around our liftoff speed. About 50 knots. And we'll climb out at 56. Any questions? No questions. Doors, windows are closed. And flaps, go ahead and set that to 10. Runway marking, runway 4 is confirmed. Alright. And then we're here, we'll taxi to tower, or taxi up to the whole short and talk to tower. Lynchburg Tower, Liberty 107 is ready. It's holding short runway 4, ready for departure. Liberty 107, make left closed traffic, wind 050 at 7, clear for takeoff runway 4. Make left closed traffic, clear for takeoff runway 4, Liberty 107. Clear right, front and to the left, then we'll go ahead and do lights, camera, action. And we'll go ahead and do, that's all good. It's my little flow that I do. You have to apply a lot of power to get this thing moving in the sim. I might turn back the time a little bit here so I can get some actual daytime here. About right there should be good. I don't want to fly into the night. Alright, short field, so we're going to use up as much runway as we can here. Alright, that's good. Again, we'll apply the brakes. Power set. Pressure and temperatures are in the green. And we'll go ahead and go. Brakes release. Again, this isn't a simulator, so it feels a little weird using my yoke. It's fine. Climb it up to 56 here. Clear the obstacles. We'll go ahead and pitch up for 74 now. It's a little gusty out. Really gusty out, actually. I'm getting pushed over quite a bit. Not gonna lie to you. I got pushed over crazy. Alright, above 60, we'll go ahead and bring out flaps. Yeah, it's, my yoke is like crashing into my keyboard right now, so it's like doesn't even want to get full connection. Like I can't push down because it's, oh my god. Alright, there we go. Alright, we're at 1600 past the departure on the runway, and we'll go ahead and make our left turn now. And what's more important is honestly just practicing the procedures. I'm not really looking for super perfection here. This looks pretty good. And then now we're going to go ahead and reduce power. We want to get at 1900. About 2200 RPM should give us that. We'll go down to 1900 again here. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and do our prelim. Make sure rich, power set, and flaps are good at the moment. Preliminary checklist is complete. This will be super bumpy out right now. We're gonna get pushed over, so let's correct for that. And then this will be a short field landing. So we'll land, we'll look at aiming at the 2 stripes before. It's super turbulent right now. This is not fun. Alright, cool. 2 stripes and preliminary landing checklist is complete. And then our out to take off checklist, I forgot to do that on the upwind, but we're okay. We got that noted now, we'll do that. Alright, cool. Go ahead and bring out flaps 10. A little late on that, to be honest. Go ahead and reduce power to 1500. 1500 is what we're looking for, and then flaps 85. Below 85, flaps 20. We're going to be high. Go ahead and do 30 degrees. And then Liberty 107. You are clear land, touch and go. Clear for the option. Liberty 107. Clear right, front and to the left. Go ahead and turn. And then we'll turn final now. We got a pretty strong wind on our head here, so we're going to go ahead and anticipate that push over.
500.
Checked. Flaps 30, we'll look for about 61 on the airspeed here. Maintain that 1500 RPM. That should give us a nice 61 here. Remember, look it slow, we got a headwind. It's pretty gusty, so let's keep it up, power up a little bit here. Probably not the best day to be doing these kinds of maneuvers. Alright, we're high, so let's trade that in for some airspeed here. Keep it at 1500. Trade it in for airspeed here. And we're stabilized within the center line. 61 knots, looking for that. I see my second stripe. We'll aim, fly it down to that point. We're low energy right now, so we'll just keep a little bit of power here. So we want to make our touchdown point. Loading a little bit now. Oh, that was terrible.
Stall. Stall. Stall.
Simulating max braking. We'll go ahead and... So, I mean, we had a little bit of power, so we floated when we went into ground effect. So, noted. Alright, let's do a soft field now. So, go ahead and pull back here. And that's, just did a tail strike. It's super sensitive in the simulator. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, yeah. Alright, there we go. That's fine. Trying to get it together. There we go. Okay, noted. Doing a freaking soft field land or takeoff in this thing is really hard with this yoke. Trying to stay into ground effect here. Okay, there we go. Stay in ground effect. Thank you. And then we'll look for about 74 here. Probably helps that I have so much flaps in. Alright. That's just part of being rusty. This is why we're doing this. This is exactly why we're doing this. Okay, we'll do a soft field landing. And then we'll try a power off 180 after that. wind off, power set, make sure Rich flaps can come up. Up. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn over. About 22 is good enough to keep 90 knots here. Clear right, front to the left, turn left. Alright, here's 90 knots for that departure on the runway. We're looking good. A little bit slow there. Preliminary checklist, throttle set. Make sure ridge flaps are good for now. Climbing, so we lost a little bit here. And then keep that runway about halfway up the wing strut there. Getting crazy performance right now. It's like going up and down thermals. Alright, and then soft field will be, we don't care about a touchdown point really, we just want to make it as soft as possible. So that means literally just getting into ground effect and holding it there until it completely loses its energy. Cool. So let's go ahead and beam it below 110, flaps and cover 10. Go 1500. And pitch it right below, a little bit below the horizon. Alright, then we'll go ahead and turn over. It is so windy right now. We got 15 knots in the pattern. Alright. Base leg, clear front and to the right. We are cleared for the option, and we'll go ahead and continue on. Remember, we have that air coming into the engine, so we'll lose a little bit of power, so maintain that 1500 RPM, especially when we do that turn. We'll just look for about 65 knots this time. We got a pretty strong crosswind, 21 knot crosswind, more than the demonstrated crosswind limit there. It's okay though. And then we'll go ahead and bring out flaps 30 here in a little bit. Like maybe 1600 might give us 65. Alright, keep it in the ground effect and slowly reduce that power. And we'll keep that pitch up, that nose up. And bring up the flaps, transfer that. Excellent. And you fly that pretty much all the way back to the runway, or taxiway. Now we'll do a power off 180. and then we'll move on to something else. I'll say that it's a little bit difficult with this setup that I have to be able to do all these maneuvers well. So right now it's just kind of breaking the rust on the procedures for everything, so I'm not looking for perfection like I said. This time we'll just go ahead and do a power off 180 and then call it, and then I think we're going to go into the park ranger livery and then fly around looking for animals. Alright, positive rate of climb, good airspeed. We'll go ahead and bring in flaps 0, pitch first, 74. There's I'm so surprised on how well modeled the Liberty campus is. It goes to it went from like a 13 knot headwind to like a 20 knot crosswind. Clear right, front, and to the left, about 1600. We'll go ahead and make a left close. And in this case would be like Winsburg Tower, or well, not yet. We have to report midfield, so we can't forget to do that too. To the left, we'll go ahead and go to the left here. Don't pitch up. Keep it rising here. We want to get to 90 knots before reaching that departure runway, which we already messed up on. Preliminary landing, throttle set, mixture rich, flaps good. And then power off 180, we're going to be, our touchdown point will be the 1,000 footers. So we're going to aim for the tip of the third strike. Looking for 90 knots here, don't get fast. And we are beam. Go ahead, power idle. Keep that nose up. Actually, don't trim it yet. We'll hold the altitude until we reach 68. And then we'll trim to maintain 68. Man, that's hard without having an actual trim wheel. And then we'll go ahead and turn inbound. What the heck, dude? That crazy performance change right there. Yeah, right now we are a little low, so let's go ahead and go direct to the numbers. We're actually doing pretty fine, actually. So we'll kind of linger around here. We're looking pretty good still. Let's go ahead and start going to the numbers. Yeah, we're gonna be a little bit slow here. So let's go ahead and increase the airspeed here. Oh man, that wind is killing me right now.
500.
That wind is destroying me. It's a 20 knot headwind right now, but we're still high, so we're okay. We're still looking pretty good. I think we're gonna make the runway for sure. I'm going to go ahead and bring out a notch of flaps here, kind of give us a little bit more drag. I hope that doesn't destroy my approach here. We're low. Let's go ahead and give it some airspeed here. And we're going to go ahead and give it some more airspeed. Give it a flat boost. Oh boy. Oh no, no, no,
Stall.
no.
Stall. 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 Stall.
Oh man, I was so close. But now we know doing a power off 180 and 20 knots of wind is not ideal. That is not. The wind just push this over. So now we know when we're having a really strong headwind like that, or a crosswind, we might want to consider going to the numbers a little bit sooner than expected. We almost made it. We were off by like maybe 40, 50 feet, I would say. But yeah, cool. Let's go ahead and go to do something fun now. Then we're just gonna go ahead and animals worldwide. Brown bear. We can try to find some elk. Cow. Oh. We can, but the thing is, it's literally all over the United States, so it might take forever to actually find one. Let's try the elk. And in a herd of 20 or more. Let's pick this point and just head south, I guess. The thing is that if they're in the trees too, it's even harder to spot them. Again, I should say in the forest. Oh my gosh. Why? We got the U.S. Park Ranger livery there. Alright, let's see if we can find some animals. And then we'll call it a day from there. Nice. Like I said, cruise power, and then probably I'd probably say a good altitude about, let's go up to 9,000, sure. And then we do want to head south, actually. So we're at the tip of the box, so we want to be able to actually, we don't want to fly outside of the box where they're estimated to be animals. far I don't see anything. We just had to fly until we see something. Leave the power into the top of the green arc. I'm trying to think if I'm maybe too high for me to accurately see the elk spawn. Let me see here. I don't believe so. I mean, I can accurately see that's a tree, and if an elk was nearby, there'd be like a little bit, kind of maybe like a dot like that. What is that? Thing is, I don't want to go down there and it'd just be a rock. I feel like they'd be in a group. So you can see that's the size of a car, so they're roughly that size, so probably be around that, about that range right there. I don't know, that's giving me a suspicion, that little dot right there. It does seem like it's moving, doesn't it? I'm gonna go check it out. It was nearby here. It was like, it was next to this circle thing. I think it was over here, wasn't it? sworn I saw something like moving around.
500.
Looked like it was over here, the little pond. Oh. Alright. Let's climb up and back up again. I feel like the best way to find something is to be low to the ground like this, to be honest. Especially with these trees. I don't know. How far are we from this airport? We can fly to it and then maybe do a landing there. This is finding animals in this simulator is super hard because it's like the range is, the area to search is so big. It's like gonna be the size of like the entire state of Texas, and it's like, and then they're in the trees too, so it's like it's even harder. or nothing. I'm gonna land at this airport. We'll call it a day. We're looking pretty close, so I think it should be right there to my left. Yes, it is. Alright. Below 110. Let's look up right here. Sweet. That was fun. Alright. No animals, but we'll